Hi guys, so I did my paper on the enforcement of gender norms in television and in film. So to start off, we have to understand what are gender roles. So gender roles are the overt expression of attitudes that indicate to others the degree of our maleness or femaleness. Your gender role is the public expression of your gender identity. So gender roles set a precedent of the way men and women should act, dress, speak, and conduct themselves. So, my hypothesis is that television shows and movies have enforced gender norms by setting a standard for both men and women to act and behave according to what television considers to be normal. So, to show you the effect of gender norms on children, I found a study from Psychology Today where they studied two classrooms, Classroom A and Classroom B. In Classroom A, teachers greeted their students saying, "Good morning, boys and girls," while in Classroom B, teachers greeted their students saying, "Good morning, children." In the classroom where the teacher addressed the students by their gender saying, "Good morning, boys and girls," the children were more likely to enforce gender norms on each other's by, like, the girls tended to play with dolls and the boys tended to play with trucks and cars, while in the classroom that the teacher said, "Good morning, children," the kids tended to play more fluidly. So, a TV show that I picked to show you guys how gender norms are being enforced in children's shows is Mickey Mouse and the Roadster Racers. So, this is the newest installment in the Mickey Mouse franchise where all the characters get to be racers. So, the male characters and the female characters both get to be racers. However, the female characters are being called the happy helpers, and they do things like cooking, cleaning, and taking care of pets, things that are deemed to be women's jobs. So, I have two examples from the show right here. So, here's the first one.
Spring cleaning is a lot of work. Come back here, you! Hello? Happy helpers are here for you. There's no job that we can't do. Minnie speaking.
Oh, my goodness. This is Hilda, and I need help. I have to go to my skydiving lesson, and I need someone to watch my sweet little snow puff while I'm up, and away.
Now, don't you worry, Hilda. We'll be there before you can say happy helpers are on the way.
So in this example, you can see that the women are cleaning and they're taking care of pets. And then here's an example of them baking.
Have a happy helper's birthday. Happy birthday to you. Have a happy helper's birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Woo-hoo! What's the curve, Daisy? What curve? Oh, close one.
Help! These crazy skates don't have any brakes!
Oh, the cake!
Oh, golly gosh. Thanks, girls. Oh, using that cake to stop me was a great idea. Tasty, too.
Have a happy helper's birthday. Happy birthday to you.
So here we see the women are baking, and even when their male friend ruins their cake, they still have to go bake it by themselves. So here is a great example of how even in young kids' TV shows, they're enforcing these gender norms at such an early age. So now to move on to adolescence, a study from the Journal of Adolescent Health said that the biggest myth about gender researchers have found is that once a girl hits puberty, that she is vulnerable and needs protection to preserve her sexual and reproductive health, while a boy is seen as strong and independent. And this is a myth that changes how the world sees both sexes during adolescence and how it continues to treat them throughout their lives. This is an age where kids are developing, they're learning a lot about gender, and women are taught that they have to protect themselves and preserve their sexuality, while men are taught that they are strong and they are independent. A movie that I picked to show gender stereotyping is the movie Project X. So for those of you who don't know the movie Project X, it is a movie where a boy's parents go out of town and him and his friends decide to throw this wild birthday party, and this was a big movie. The reason that I chose this movie is because the male lead character Thomas has this best friend, the blonde girl. There's a clear romance that lies between them the entire movie. However, he ends up being with this girl over here with the brown hair. And in the movie, he chooses her because of her attractiveness and because of her popularity. And during this, the blonde girl walks in, she sees the two of them together, and she's immensely hurt by it. But at the end of the movie, she forgives him anyways and allows him to get away with this amount of disrespect. Also, throughout the movie, there's a lot of hypersexualization of these young girls, like a sign like this that says naked girls in the pool only. There's multiple scenes of girls that are swimming topless. And I also picked this picture over here that says, from the teen bucket list, that says to go to a Project X-like party, because it just shows how much children are influenced by the things that they see. So teens want to go to parties like this where women are being objectified and disrespected. And although I wish I could say that it stops with children and teenagers, it doesn't. Adult and gender stereotyping is really big, especially when it comes to careers and family settings. So careers, there's so many jobs that are deemed as women jobs that aren't so high paying, secretaries, nurses, and these jobs have very low male employment rates. And also in a family setting, when someone is a stay-at-home father, they're seen as weak and unmanly. Why are they seen like this? They're seen like this for allowing a woman to provide for their family. The show that I picked for this is The Big Bang Theory. This is actually America's top-rated sitcom, and it is also a show that is widely known for its gender stereotyping. The show's probably biggest gender stereotype is Penny. She is the dumb, bimbo blonde who relies on her scientist boyfriend to help her with a lot of her common problems. There's also the character Amy, who is a neurobiologist. However, she is seen to have no sex appeal and not particularly pretty. Then the show finally brought along a character that is pretty and is intelligent, but when her boyfriend goes to space, she sits at home and frets. So all of these girls rely on their men so heavily to do their mundane things. And another thing that the show does is they completely misrepresent comic book readers. They make it seem like as if only men can read comic books and enjoy it. So I actually picked a scene right here.
Why are they staring?
Who cares? Just soak it in. Hello, boys.
Oh, hey. Can you please stop staring? They're just girls. It's nothing you haven't seen in movies or in drawings.
Hey, Stuart.
What brings you guys here?
We're looking for a recommendation about comic books.
Oh, well, I recommend you don't open a store and sell them.
No, we were just wondering why the guys like this stuff so much, so we thought we'd give it a try.
Oh, okay. What do you think you might be into? Superhero, fantasy, graphic novels, manga? I swear I will turn a hose on you.
So as you can see here, they make it seem as if females never read comic books, that it is a male thing to do. So to end the research part of my presentation, I just ask, if film and television keep enforcing these gender normative behaviors, are we going to see reform? So for my survey, I surveyed 15 men and 15 women about their feelings towards gender norms in television and in film. So 87.5% of participants felt that film and television hold some responsibility for creating gender roles in society. 50% believe the age group that is most influenced by television and film is age 6 to 12. The same answer applied to the question of what age group an individual should learn and become aware of gender roles, stereotypes, body images, and sexism. 75% of poll takers said that females are most influenced by television and film stereotypes, while 12.5% said male and 12.5% said neither. Lastly, I asked if people personally felt gender stereotypes in television and film influenced the specific person, how the specific person viewed themselves as a male or female. 62.5% replied yes, 25% said somewhat, and 12.5% said no. So my survey conclusion is that majority of people feel that there is still a large influence of gender stereotypes due to film and television. So the last thing to ask is there a solution? And I believe there is a solution. If we teach our children that it's okay for boys to play with girls' toys and girls to play with boy toys, or girls and boys to play with whatever toys they please. Movements like Me Too and gender marches are so important. And also getting rid of phrases like boys will be boys and teaching kids that all they need to do is be good humans. So that's it for my presentation, and I hope you guys enjoyed.